Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing our Mardu Landfall deck once again, and our opponent is playing a mono white Hatebears deck, which is a deck that seems to be increasing in popularity for reasons I'm not completely clear on, but I suppose we'll see how the metagame shakes out. I suppose it is slightly better now that Pod's gone, although I think Pod was also the kind of deck that we want to hate on. But either way, it is a deck that I'm seeing a lot more, so it might be worth checking out. I ended up mulliganing on one lander there. I don't think you quite got to see it. It was fairly spicy, but I didn't really want to take the risk. And this hand is not too exciting, but I think is a reasonable keep. Opponent leads off with the plains. We're going to Inquisition. See if we can see his hand. So we've got Flicker Wisp, Path to Exile, Sarah Avenger, Leonin Arbiter, and a Horizon Canopy and the plains. Kind of a difficult decision. Don't really want him to have Path, but I think the best and Sarah Avenger is a little scary. Flicker Wisp also a little annoying. But I figured next turn, if I leave the Arbiter in his hand, that is what he's going to do next turn. To take the Arbiter, he can't play the Avenger, he can't play the Flicker Wisp. So it just means that he's not really doing much next turn. So I figured that was the pick of the bunch, and we can obviously take another card next turn with the Scholar. Draw GP, which is nice. Can use the Scholar to take another card from him. I think I ended up taking the Flicker Wisp. I'm not sure if that was the right play or not. I could have taken the Path, in which case he's less likely to have removal to deal with it, but I kind of figured, again, next turn he'll probably want to drop a Flicker Wisp, which is going to make attacking with the Tidehollow Skull less good. Then we give him the Path and he's killed off one of our guys, so if he wants to Path the Scholar and get back his Flicker Wisp, I think that's fine. In the meantime, I think I'd rather just see him off his creatures. That was my thinking anyway. So we're going to attack for 2 here. I'm just going to run out. I don't want my Confidant to get passed, and I'm not going to play a land so we can keep up our landfall triggers for the GP. The opponent passed the Scholar, which is fine. He's going to get his Flicker Wisp back. We might as well get a land. Plays a Tech Edge. And tapping his plains there with the Flicker Wisp ability. Obviously didn't want to flicker anything of ours, but it does make me a little bit worried that he might have a Path. I think actually in the circumstances he probably didn't. He just didn't have anything better to untap. So we play one of our fetch. Punch and block. He says go. Drops a Sarah Avenger. I could have dropped a Confidant there. The reason I didn't is because I thought about him having Path. Maybe I should have just gone for it. I probably should have just gone for it. Because I think in the circumstances he probably didn't have Path. But we're going to Helix here, taking out the Avenger. Play a land. That's 3. Flagstones again. I think I was trying to play around Path, which I don't think, was potentially not right to do. We probably could have got a lot with that bit much more damage if we played the Flagstones there and then cracked the fetch. But I was just playing conservatively really. I think we do play the Confidant here though this time, and then pass the turn. Then draws off his Horizon Canopy. 3 in the air. And blows up our Godless Shrine. So here we draw another fetch. Well, actually we draw 2 fetches thanks to the Confidant. So we actually potentially have a win here with GP'd, because yeah, one of the other reasons I really want to Boris Charm double strike. I'll play it GP'd because we can make it pretty huge now. So I actually have lethal now, and there's a good chance he doesn't realise that. So I'm going to attack with the GP to see if he blocks. He doesn't, so I pay 2 for the Arbiter's ability so I can search up with my fetches. Otherwise I wouldn't have got the extra landfall abilities. Crack the Mire. Then we're going to give out 7/7 plated GP double strike, and we're going to be able to deal 14, which kills him off. So yeah, he definitely should have blocked there, but I can't blame him for not seeing that coming. It is pretty brutal. And we managed to get an extra 7 damage out of our Boros Charm, so he probably thought he was fairly safe on 12 life. As it turns out he wasn't. So yeah, that's one of the really cool things you can do with this deck, and that interaction with like Geopede and Boros Charm is pretty awesome. Obviously managed to put an extra 7 damage out there, so that was really sweet. So let's go on to game 2. So now we've got Step Links, Confidant, Titolo Scholar, and the lands to play them, so that seems really good. I've got Zealous Persecution and a Bolt as well for removal. Brought in Zealous from the sideboard. I think he's got quite a few 1 toughness guys, and either way it's a good way to get our attacks in, so quite like that. Actually, I'm going to have to crack this fetch to play the Step Links, which always seems a little sad, but it's going to have to go with it. Then drops Thalia, which is a little annoying. Unfortunately it dies to Zealous Persecution. I could just bolt the Thalia here, but I'd rather see if we can get some extra value out of this Zealous Persecution. So I drop my land, tap for 2, and I'm going to play this Geopede. Again, I could have been more aggressive and played the Confidant, but I really don't want it to die, and I feel like I prefer him to use his early removal on these guys, and then I can sort of power up with a Dark Confidant for later in the game. So I'm going to tap for 2, I'm just going to take it. We could have traded with the GP because they both have first strike, but I wasn't really up for that. Essentially, particularly because GP represents a lot more damage, potentially. Kitchen Finks is annoying, he's going to gain some life, and means we can't really attack with our Step Links given that we don't have a fetch or anything. The good thing about it is if we manage to kill this Kitchen Finks, once it comes back it has 1 toughness, and we can potentially get a pretty nice blowout with a Zealous Persecution. So I play my land, I'm going to here, he blocks the Geopede and brings back the Kitchen Finks as a 2/1, which kind of plays into our hands quite nicely. Really want to pull off this Zealous Persecution. So for the attacks, I really want to take the damage, but at the same time, if I Zealous Persecute now, there's a good chance he has a Flicker Wisp, flickers out the Kitchen Finks, and we still get decent value off that situation, I guess, but not as good as it could be. So I want to see if we can persuade him into dropping a Flicker Wisp here. He obviously hits us for 4, drops a Flicker Wisp, and this is the great payoff here. We're actually going to be able to wipe his whole board here with the Zealous Persecution that we held up. So we did take quite a bit of damage there for the price, but this is going to be well worth it. So yeah, Zealous Persecution. Could have played a number of spells there. I decided to go for the Titolo Scholar just for the extra rub-ins, essentially. I think if we can destroy his hand after just wiping his board, he's going to be in a really bad position. We weren't going to actually be able to attack for very much this turn because we don't have a land to trigger our landfall guys, but I think we probably would have won out there. We've got removal for any creatures he might have, and he's going to struggle after that big board wipe, so yeah, we got the concession, and that wraps everything up pretty nicely.